Shalom, call halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever, the 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like those heathen. This isn't a color thing. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this is Revelation 12 and 10. And it reads, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night." And Esau Edom, the so-called white man, wants to remove the Hebrew Israelites off the corners, and he wants to, and he's continually accusing it, because that word means to categorize. And Esau Edom only likes to speak about anything when he controls the narrative. If he can't control the narrative, he doesn't want to speak about the subject matter. He will talk around the subject matter and speak about other things. All right. I did a video yesterday, and I was on TikTok, and I used a particular video that Amy Chen had did. That channel is still up, but that video is gone. And in that video, she talked about how white people's hatred, all right, toward anything that doesn't look like them is their own pathology, all right, and that they have been institutionalized through lies from their own people. They have been institutionalized or indoctrinated with feel-good lies, fabricated history about their own history to make them feel good about themselves. And when the truth about the brutality, the savagery of their history comes out, they perceive that, or they call that hate. But I pointed out the fact that they did get to the position where they are in the earth today by the sword, by the murder, the rape, and the robbery of so many other people, especially the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? Everything that they have, they got through colonization, and colonization is always done through extreme violence, lies, and religion. All right? What was that book, Guns, Religion, Guns, and Diseases? These are if I'm getting it right, can't remember the title of that book, but basically those are the three things that they use. First, they come in with their missionaries, then they come in with their military, right? And then they come in with their diseases, the blankets that they brought in, to help thin out the natives, the Gadites and the Reubenites, the natives of the Americas, so they could get dominion here in America. The smallpox blankets is evidence of that. All right, so, sword comes in many different ways. So now the main sword that they're using against us today now is the media, because they want to control the narrative so that they, and when they speak about us in particular, or anyone who speaks any truth against the things that they're doing, which will violate the laws of this very land. That's why they have all these codes and statutes that they follow, from under maritime law and all these other things, because what they want to do is get rid of the Constitution and get rid of the Bible, and definitely get rid of anyone who's speaking about the Bible and pointing out their wickedness. And I just find it interesting and funny that the very people who use the Bible as a weapon to get dominion over the people, now that very same Bible has been shown to reveal who they are and show their wickedness, now they want it gone. All right? Let me grab one more scripture, and then I'm going to play this portion of this video. You can see the name and the title of the video at the bottom of the screen, so don't ask. All right, but this is Revelations 12:12, and it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having a great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." All right, so Edom knows that his time is short, and so they're going to demonize and come at us. And this is prophecy. It has to happen. All right, it has to happen. All right, so without any further ado,
we're in real trouble as a nation. We're in real trouble, and you guys are following. Actually, you're leading, I think, because you guys have just introduced a bill yesterday that is bone chilling.
Let me tell you what's going on in Canada, because as I always say, what happens in Canada today may happen in the U.S. 5 years from now. It's like we're a bad time machine to see your future. This week, Justin Trudeau introduced a new bill called Bill C-63. It's got a lot of things in it that are atrocious. He's created a new hate crime bill, life in prison, new hate crime law. There's nothing that gets you life in prison in Canada, not even murder, but hate speech now does. He's created a pre-crime for hate. If you have, quote, fear of hate, that's the title of the section of the law, you can get a judge to issue a kind of restraining.
So let's pause it right there. So these guys who trim their ways to seek love, to change the doctrine, it's all going to backfire on them. All right, trim their ways to so that they can merchandise and make money. To take away from the gospel, to take away from the name. It's all going to backfire on them because they're going to be in the same. Matter of fact, let me just read this. This is Revelation 2:10, and it reads, "Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, that ye may have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." So some of us are going to die. It's a lot to, some of us, it's a lot to be martyrs for this truth. All right, but the vast majority of us are going to be delivered when these days come. But those of you who have trimmed your ways, that deliverance is not going to come. All right, then you can call on those false names, and regurgitate those false doctrines that truly has offended the Lord power, who is Yahweh Yahweh Shai.
Order against your enemy before he does anything, before he says anything. And that restraining order can include house arrest, giving up any lawful firearms, limiting who he can talk to directly or indirectly, limiting the places he can go.
And it's funny that there's a camp that's known to be armed while they're at camp was on the screen as he said what he had just said. But I digress.
And requiring him to take urine and blood tests. Just because you are, quote, afraid he might in the future say some hate speech. He doesn't have to have done anything in the past. This is a pre-crime, like in that science fiction movie, Minority Report. That's in this bill. Let me tell you other things in this bill. Trump is being prosecuted by high-profile prosecutors. Trudeau has one-upped that. Trudeau has now said that anyone in Canada, even non-citizens, can file hate speech complaints against anyone. And if they're successful, they get $20,000 from the target, and the target has to pay a fine of up to $50,000. So let me just say this more clearly. If there's anyone on social media, because this is a social media law Trudeau's introduced, if there's anyone who has a YouTube video, a tweet, a Facebook comment that you think creates hate, you can go to the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal and complain about it. You don't have to hire a lawyer. You don't have to spend any money. The government will have the hearing, and if your complaint is upheld, you get 20 grand from the victim. 20 goes to the complainant, and an additional 50 goes to the government.
So literally anyone, especially the men of the Lord, that speaks against the tyranny and against the unlawful things that are being done to the citizens of the United States, to the citizens of the world by these by the WEF or the WHO or the any of these unelected officials. Justin Trudeau himself. That's if you speak against them, all right, and you don't have to say anything that's bad. All you have to do is not agree with them, and that's enough to to get you labeled a terrorist or something like that. All right, to get you put into this boat where you could get life in prison. And you know that typically what goes on in Canada tends to trickle down to America afterwards. But we know that this prophecy that the famine of the word is going to come. But this is Revelation 3:10. We're in Revelation a lot tonight. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right, because we're going to be tried, and the Lord, and then we're going to be brought before, judges and governors and people in positions of power, and but fear not. Matter of fact, where's that scripture? When it says, I will give thee a mouth and wisdom. I think that's in Luke. Trying to remember where that is. It's a lot here. That none of thy adversaries can gainsay. I'll find it. Give me a second here. I know it's in Luke. Yeah, Luke 21:15. And it reads, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And typically they really can't do that now because they can't contend with us when it comes to the scriptures, to the Bible. They can't contend with us when it comes to history. They can only scoff. And the fact that we know the truth is bothering them because they're going to this extent. All right. And this isn't even about the medical stuff. This is really about history and the word. Because that's the one we've been telling you, that the true threat to their power structure is the truth. All right. And the men of the Lord, primarily and especially the men of the great millstone and the men who teach the likewise doctrine, the affiliate camps, that's the biggest threat to this man's power structure. It's simple truth. Not violence, not guns, not grenades, not knives, not swords, but just simply the truth. All right? Because their time is coming to an end. So let's go to 2nd Ezra. We're ending the 6th chapter. But this is 6 and 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. And it reads, then answered I and said, what shall be the part in the sum of times, or what shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? All right. So the end of this current wicked system and the beginning of the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven will be here on earth, just as it tells you in the book of Revelations, not floating around somewhere in the clouds. And the governing body of that are going to be the 144,000, right? Which starts with Yahushua, King David, the 12, all right? And then the rest of the 144,000 will be the new governing body over all of the earth, over all the universe, all right? And forever. And it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, from Jacob and Esau, were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Edom knows that his time is up, and this is why he's going to such extremes. All right? But it's really not going to help him. right? And you know, the truth is to them is like sunlight to a vampire, like a steak to like silver to a to a vampire, like a crucifix to the stake in the heart to a vampire. All right, because it light. That's their biggest thing. What a vampire can't stand the light, and Esau, Edom, they're full of darkness. They're the true black people, and you shine the light on them, and they die. And the light is the truth. And this is 2 Ezra 6:27, and it reads, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared." All right, so with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash, Kwam Yasserala Shalom.